Thanks for tuning in to Falcon Update live on Yellow Breeches Television. I'm Nolan Hoganboom.
And I'm Caleb Kukin. Let's see what's happening at Messiah.
On Friday morning, Beyond the Ceiling hosted breakfast with Messiah University's president, Kim Phipps. At the event, students were able to eat breakfast and listen to KP while she shared her life story. Beyond the Ceiling has a goal to create a positive environment for the women at Messiah and to broaden their knowledge about leadership. This event was put together by Faith Swarner and Annika Kowalski, both students at Messiah.
We just want women to feel like they have the tools they need to go into the professional world and feel confident in what they do.
For more information about Beyond the Ceiling, you can follow them on Instagram at Messiah_BTC.
The Murray Library and Messiah's Office of Diversity Affairs hosted the annual Human Library Project this past Wednesday. Photojournalist Josh McLeaf has more.
Never judge a book by its cover.
The Human Library event is designed to create an opportunity for conversations. And so instead of print books on a shelf, they're living books where people share their stories in a small segment of 20-25 minutes and gives us a chance to ask questions. And we purposely keep the readers to a small amount, between 4 and 6, so that it's more of an intimate conversation. Often people are a little hesitant about sharing a story, or might even say, what story would I share? I don't have any, but we all have stories. We've had 25 books. We have never had 25 books. We've had alums come back. We've had community members speak. We try to keep it for current Messiah people. And we had a student who was able to be a book for one time slot. And afterwards he came up to me and he said, "Thank you. It was a wonderful experience." And he was so excited. He said, "Next year I'm going to do it again, and I'll do 2 time slots."
Today, actually going to listen to other open books, how great the idea is and how much it lines up with what I'm doing. Every time I open myself, I say, I'm an open book. Ask me anything. There's nothing you can't ask. And pouring my soul out there, it creates a broader sense for community, for unconditional love and compassion.
You can just come and get to know someone in a way that you hadn't before.
It's like, oh, open the book. Don't judge it by the cover. Start reading it.
Thanks, Josh. Student ministries gathered the campus together and opened up the floodgates for this year's Incense event, an evening of worship and reflection for the Messiah community. At various stations around Brubaker Auditorium, attendees could write testimonies, pray with student ministry staff, worship through art, or just enjoy the performances by United Voices of Praise, Affirmation Dance Ministries, Powerhouse Band, and more.
So our theme for Incense is outpouring of God's love. And so we are hoping that the students can come to Incense and just feel God's presence and feel His love. We're saying it's Incense, open up the floodgates, and God is just letting down His love onto this campus. So we just hope the students are able to come and experience that.
First-year students participated in the annual iFast event last week. Justin Tan has more details. Justin?
On Wednesday, all first-year dorms held iFast, an event involving fasting from technology in order to promote and facilitate self-reflection as well as connection with God and one another.
Hey everyone, I'm Curtis. I'm one of the first-year residence directors here. I am participating in iFast by muting all of my social media notifications and intentionally taking a break from social media for the day. It's just allowed me to be able to engage with the residents here in Whitmer and be able to take some time and pause and focus on what life is like in community and with the Lord without technology being in the present focus of my mind.
All dorms had arts and crafts such as friendship bracelet making, painting, and coloring. Bittner and Noggle also held ping pong tournaments, offering some excitement that was well received by their residents. Even staff members were involved in the fun. The iFast has been a tradition at Messiah for some years now. Bittner RD Josiah Hatfield was the one who brought the event to Messiah.
We've been doing it for around 10 years, and it started in Noggle Hall, and then expanded it to all 3 first-year halls. I stole it from someone at a state school, but we modified it. It talks about like spiritual disciplines pretty well, and so we think it's important for students to think about the way that they relate to technology, maybe sometimes too much. If stepping away from that for a day to focus on the relationship with God, self, and others is a thing that we're looking to encourage.
This event was optional and most participation was passive as students fasted from technology. The day ended with participating students going to Powerhouse to worship.
Thanks, Justin. On Saturday, the Student Activities Board hosted a block party outside the Union from 2 to 5 p.m. Students could visit tables to learn more about some of the clubs at Messiah and participate in a variety of lawn games like spike ball and cornhole. An inflatable obstacle course was set up and many students took the challenge to complete it. Food trucks also made their way on campus and had people rushing in line to get a bite. Definitely an eventful Saturday afternoon on campus.
Please stay with us. There's so much more ahead on Falcon Update.
We're going to take a look at SAB's Extravaganza.
And we'll meet up Messiah's last adventure education student.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Welcome back to Falcon Update live on YBTV. Are you familiar with the adventure education major at Messiah?
Well, probably not because it doesn't exist anymore. However, there is one student left in the program here at Messiah. Let's meet him.
I'm Keisuke Kawada. I'm a junior adventure education major here at Messiah University, and the last one actually, graduating in 2023. So the adventure education major, essentially it's using outdoor experiences or indoor experiences. They're intentionally designed to foster relationship growth, leadership development, character building, and those are just some of the main points, because the whole point of all these activities is to essentially... Keisuke Kawada. I'm a junior adventure education major here at Messiah University, and the last one actually, graduating in 2023. So the adventure education major, essentially it's using outdoor experiences or indoor experiences. They're intentionally designed to foster relationship growth, leadership development, character building, and those are just some of the main points, because the whole point of all these activities is to essentially build lifelong skills that will translate in all aspects of life. So we do that with like rock climbing to build trust within your peers, or you can use paddling to like build communication between the front paddler and the person at the back. I think a lot of what adventure education teaches, morally good principles that can help build character, and I think character is very important. So I came in 2019, fall of 2019, finding out my major was ending. I was like, oh, this kind of sucks. But I honestly cannot see myself doing anything other than this, so I'm just gonna go for it, see what happens. It's really for an educational purpose. And yes, it's fun and games, but there's a deeper meaning behind it, and it's sad that Messiah got rid of the major, but I understand why they got rid of it, so.
Although the adventure education major is no longer offered here at Messiah, maybe there are a few opportunities for adventure this week.
Let's head to Nolan Putnam for the campus calendar.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this week's edition of Campus Calendar. As ever, take a gander at the multitude of campus ministry opportunities along with the continuous Falcon Fitness classes. This week is National Library Week. The Murray Library staff will have a table every day 12 to 1 p.m. on the main steps. Come to spin the wheel and win prizes. Student Ministries will have a prayer outreach table on Tuesday. This will be in Lottie Nelson Dining Hall from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Tuesday will also hold its usual chapels. Sliding into Wednesday, the CPDC and Agape Center are partnering and hosting a Tailgating for Jobs event in the visitors lot outside of Eisenhower. Enjoy the hamburgers and hot dogs that will be served. Discover internships and job opportunities for this summer and fall. Don't forget the Student Ministries Chapel on Thursday morning. Also join students in a walk around campus and a student ministries prayer walk beginning at 7:30 at Haas Center. On Thursday and stretching through the weekend, the Department of Theater and Dance will be putting on Yeomen of the Guard. Tickets will be $7 with a student ID. Further on Friday, SAB will be hosting an opera dinner party with dinner from 6 to 7:30 and opera from 8 to 10. Only 22 spots are available with signups going live Tuesday at 5 p.m. Messiah Survivor Expedition will take place Friday from 6:30 to midnight and Saturday from 9 to 2 p.m. This two-day event is a shortened version of the semester-long version the club also offers. Brighten up your Friday at the Wellness and Rec Glow Night. Offered will be food, slacklining, and painting along with all things glow in the dark. Messiah Lost Films presents Being the Ricardos in Parmer Cinema on both Friday and Saturday night. Also on Saturday, check out the International Festival from 5 to 9 p.m. in Brubaker. A flag procession will start the evening, followed by a night of food performances and activities from around the world. Academic Accessibility will be showing Crip Camp in Parmer Cinema. Beginning at 2 p.m. on Sunday, Sync the Halls will also take place in the Union on Sunday from 7 to 8:30 as first-year students compete for the Golden Microphone. The Outdoors Club will also be hosting a kayak and canoeing trip. Sign-ups are $5 and you can register on GlowFox. That's all for this week's campus calendar. Back to the desk with Nolan and Caleb.
Thanks, Nolan. Turning to our other Nolan, it wasn't bad today weather-wise.
No, it wasn't. It was a little chillier than I would have liked. Remember we had that day last week where it rained. We got one of those April showers, but it was like 70 degrees. It was awesome.
Yeah, you know what they say, April showers bring May flowers.
Hey, I'm looking forward to it. Let's check out the Falcon forecast with Chris Blakeman.
Welcome to this week's Falcon Forecast. I'm Chris Blakeman. April showers are coming in full force this week, so plan to bring a raincoat or umbrella with you at all times. It's currently 51 degrees in Grantham with cloudy skies and a low temperature of 40 degrees later on tonight. Tomorrow has a high of 60 degrees and a low of 49. The rain will start off strong with a 45% chance of occasional showers in the afternoon, with a 100% chance of heavy rain in the evening. Wednesday will be about the same with a high of 60 and a low of 48, with a 73% chance of some light rain early in the day, which will turn into some steady showers as the day goes on. Thursday and Friday will bring even more rain, with an 80% chance and a 45% chance respectively, with temperatures averaging in the mid-40s and 50s. The weekend will see the rain hopefully come to an end with only a 23% chance on Saturday. However, the clouds will continue to stick around. Expect a high of 54 with low of 39 on Saturday and a high of 52 on Sunday with a low of 37. That's all for this week's Falcon Forecast. I'm Chris Blakeman, sending it back to the desk.
Thank you, Chris. SAB held their extravaganza egg hunt on Saturday.
Josh McLeaf participated in the event for this week's Bird Eye View.
For this week's exciting Bird's Eye View, we're cracking into the SAB extravaganza. Let's get started.
Doesn't look like you rolled out of bed at all. I'm doing really good.
I am feeling very thrilled and excited. I mean, I haven't done an egg hunt in a really long time. But you know, we got it. We're gonna win something. I can feel it in my gut.
So just a few ground rules. We emailed them all to your inbox, which is why we took your emails. But all the eggs are reachable from the ground, so don't climb anything. Don't get in trouble with bee safety.
We're about 2 minutes in. So far, all I found is Mr. Goodbar. I'm not sure if this is part of the event or not.
Well, I didn't walk away with much, but a lot of students did. Those who found the most eggs, and also the students who found the golden eggs. A lot of great prizes were given out. I still have my Mr. Goodbar, though. It's right here, actually. And that's all I need. That's it for this week's Bird's Eye View. Have a sweet week.
Thanks, Josh. We're starting to reach that point in the semester where projects, papers, and exams are beginning to pile up.
So, to prepare ourselves, we wanted to find the best study spots on campus. It's Rosie Schiano with this week's Falcon on the Street.
I'm this week's Falcon on the Street reporter, Rosie Schiano, and today we're asking people where their favorite place on campus is to study.
My favorite place to study is the library, the cubicle called Fiddle Forest.
Yeah, so I can't really study at Union because of the background noise. It's usually too much for me. So it's either going to be Boyer or the library. I'm one of the little study rooms. Pretty nice.
I personally like to go to the library, like the little cubby desk places, just because it's just nice and quiet. And I know like once I'm there, I'm like in the zone and nothing really like distracts me. So.
I typically like to go to the room right over there, actually. It's like an extension of the multicultural and international student office. But yeah, with the big windows. I like that a lot.
My favorite place to study is the library.
My favorite place to study it will be have to be my dorm. I usually go to like the study room, and I get a lot of hours in there. So it does help because I get a lot of solitude. So yeah.
That's it for this week's Falcon on the Street. For YBTV, I'm Rosie Schiano.
Thanks, Rosie. This week in the Vault, we have a story that radiates April Fool's energy.
Kelly Gainey has the details. Kelly?
Welcome back to The Vault, unlocking Messiah's history 1 week at a time. I'm your host, Kelly Gainey. This week, I investigated the hijinks history of the Wittenberg door. The original door was a small bulletin board located in the basement of Old Main in 1963. Its intended use was to be an open forum of conversation as a nod to the original Wittenberg door that held Martin Luther's 95 Theses. On March 9, 1964, Student Senate decided the board needed an upgrade from the simple bulletin board and set aside $8.75 for its construction. According to the Senate minutes, the purchase didn't actually go through till March 6, 1968. After the door was moved to Eisenhower Campus Center in 1972, things got interesting. In 1974, the door was stolen off the wall, and Student Senate debated whether to hunt for it or simply replace it. There is no documented notes about the door being replaced or found, but on January 26, 1986, the door was stolen again. Student minutes show that the door was present during security rounds at 12 a.m., but by the next round at 12:30 a.m., the door was gone. The top part of the door was found broken off and left outside the Messiah College Student Activities Office door, and the bottom part was found broken near the train tracks. The minutes also note to replace the door as soon as possible this time around. However, that door would not last long either because the door was stolen yet again on December 16, 1988, but it wasn't reported on till January 11, 1989. The door was temporarily replaced on November 1, 1989. The last mention of the door in student minutes is in 1995. On July 31, 2003, the first door to be stolen was returned and placed on the steps outside of Old Main. Then, in October of 2017, both of the other two stolen doors were returned to Messiah. All three now rest safely in Messiah's archives. That's all for this week. Make sure to tune in on April 25th when I recap all of our mysteries here on The Vault.
Thanks, Kelly. PJ Rydell will be joining us for a look at sports next.
He'll tell us about the Hall of Honor and give us last week's highlights.
Keep it right here on YBTV.
You're watching YBTV live on YouTube. Check out our channel after the show for more great content from Messiah University.
It should be fun. I love s'mores.
Me too. Especially on a campfire.
The best.
Golden brown.
You're watching YBTV. And welcome back to Falcon Update here on YBTV.
PJ Rydell is joining us live for sports this week. PJ?
Hey guys, thank you. I'm here to bring you up to speed on sports at Messiah. As we said, I'm PJ Rydell, and I'm standing here in the Hall of Honor outside of Hitchcock Arena, where on Friday, Messiah's athletics department inducted 7 of the newest inductees into their Hall of Honor. You can actually see they've already put up all of their plaques in the Hall of Honor right here behind me. So to hear more about the contributions that these athletes made and to hear a little bit more from the inductees, let's take a look at what happened during the ceremony on Friday night.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2022 Messiah University Hall of Honor induction ceremony.
Messiah's athletics department has been inducting former athletes into the Hall of Honor since 1995, and after a 2-year hiatus, the 7-member class of 2022 was inducted on Friday night. The members included Kathy Erickson, Ben Martin, Steph Rowe, J.D. Binger, Julie Pacella, Brian Hoyt, and Kristen Arnold. Athletic Director Sarah Gustin Hamrock is thankful for the purpose the Hall of Honor serves for past, present, and future student athletes at Messiah.
I'm very glad that through the Athletics Hall of Honor, we have a vehicle for remembering and celebrating excellence. Today we honor the very best Messiah student athletes from classes past, and we ensure that their impact as a student athlete at Messiah will always be remembered.
Each of the inductees were given a plaque and an opportunity to speak and reflect on their time at Messiah.
And when I think back specifically about being a part of the men's soccer program, what comes to mind over and over is, man, that was such a blessing.
Kristen Arnold encouraged the many student athletes in attendance to value their time here for more than just the sport itself.
For the student athletes that are here tonight, just remember that, you know, it's great to have those goals and to work hard, but in the end, it's the relationships you make and the example that you're able to set to pass that legacy along.
You can view the entire ceremony and more inductee information at gomessiah.com. It was a great evening on Friday to induct the former athletes of Messiah, but as for those current athletes, this week was a full slate of spring sports, and we're going to start right here in Hitchcock Arena, where the men's volleyball took on their rival Stevenson Mustangs in a conference rivalry matchup. The Falcons came into the matchup as the top team in the MAC and looking to defend their position. So early in the first game, it's Stevenson's attempt denied by Owen Hanselman, set up, and the throwdown by Mason Nisley to get the Falcons up 6-4 there. Here's a slow-mo look at it. Big kill by Nisley. Now moving on, it's the Falcons on the verge of a win, and they'll get it as it's into the net by Stevenson. So the Falcons win game 1. They fell in game 2, and now here's a big two-handed flush by Matt Knabb in game 3 as the Falcons are looking to rebound. Big play there. And it's the Falcons going up. Game on the line and into the net. Again, it's deja vu for the Stevenson Mustangs as the Falcons win it 3-1 and get the regular season sweep of the Mustangs. However, this rivalry is far from over as the Mustangs and Falcons are set to face off on Wednesday in the MAC Championship playoffs right here in Hitchcock Arena. Now, if we take it out of the arena and back out to the fields, Messiah Baseball also had a strong week this week as the team went 3-1 to open conference play. They got the fun started last Tuesday in a big comeback win against Hood College. The Falcons came into the 9th inning on Wednesday trailing 7-3 against the Blazers, but it wouldn't be long before they erased the deficit as the drive here by Reed Wagner gets him in scoring position, and driving him home is Dustin Eisenagel to get the Falcons within 3. Now a drive here by Casey Karras. It's a 1-run game as he laces the 2 RBI double into left center. Falcons creeping in closer as they are now down by just 1 with that 6th run crossing the plate. Now it's going to be Mason Valentino stepping up, and he gets that one deep into the left center field gap, and that will fall. And just like that, the tying run crosses the plate. It's the Falcons and Blazers tied up at 7. Then the Falcons' Clayton Roberts drives this one into the gap for a huge triple and to score the go-ahead run as there the run crosses the plate, still rounding second all the way to third. And just like that, the Falcons come away with the win thanks to a 1-2-3 inning in the ninth to clinch the 10-7 comeback win. The Falcons would go on to win their rematch with Hood on Friday and split their doubleheader with Lebanon Valley College on Saturday. They've got a 13-10 record now coming into the season, and they look ahead to their matchup with Albright tomorrow night. Now moving on to softball, staying on the diamond. Softball maintained their perfect conference record with 2 more wins in the sweep over Lebanon Valley College, including a dramatic home opener on Saturday afternoon. In game 1, the Falcons went on to extra innings, locked into a 4-4 tie, and that's where we'll pick up the drama. As going into the 10th inning, the Falcons would go on to walk this one off, as stepping up to the plate is Hannah Dyer, waiting the pitch and the drive there right up the middle. And it's the Falcons coming away with the win. Mellage scores, and the Falcons win in a walk-off fashion in game 1. Falcons would go on to win game 2 by a final of 7-4 on the mound. Maddie Walter, the MAC player of the week for the Falcons, got the win in game 1, and in game 2, Lydia Collison got the win. They are 14-8 now, so is softball, and they are going to face Misericordia next on Thursday in a big doubleheader there. Now, moving on to women's lacrosse. Women's lacrosse had a dominant week on the turf as well, earning wins against Albright College and Christopher Newport University big time, 16-6 and 15-6, the scores respectively in those ones. As we look to the action here on the turf, the Falcons started the week strong against Albright as they scored 8 consecutive goals. This one here coming courtesy of Rachel Dellett to get it started, as she gets back-to-back goals here, this one coming on the free position attempt. And just like that, it's an early 2-0 lead for the Falcons. Now, at the end of the first, Erin Grotoff is off to the races as she outruns the Albright defense and takes it herself to make it 9-1. Next is Rachel Dellett spinning and falling, but she somehow managed to get it in the goal. Let's watch it again as she spins, falls, and somehow manages to find her way into the goal. Finally, in the fourth quarter, as we move on, it's going to be Abigail Evans on the far side as she works around her defender and puts that one in. And just like that, she gets her 4th goal of the game, which ties her career high and gives the Falcons their 16th and final goal on the afternoon as they go on to beat the Lions of Albright College. Next, still on the turf, it's men's lacrosse, as they also had an electric showing against Albright College this week, defeating the Lions by a final of 19-16. The big win was fueled by a huge night from Nate Branson, who netted 6 goals in the win. As we look to the footage here from Albright, the Falcons trail the Lions early in the second, where we pick up. As here, Joyce gets it to Libby, who gets it to Branson, tic-tac-toe, and Nate Branson puts in his first of 6 goals on the afternoon. Now in the third, here's Branson again, ripping one from the top, and that makes it a 9-11 ball game. Less than a minute later, Nate Branson finds the back of the net again as he takes the shot from point blank right there in front of the net. Now Branson grabbing it again, firing it from deep, and he gets it to fall. He's just making it look really easy at this point. And Branson's going to get one more shot, another off-balance shot there. Just like that, it's 18-12, Messiah on top. And for Branson's final goal, a little underhanded flick, and he puts it in. And the Falcons make it 19-14 here. They would go on to win 19-16. The Falcons' record stands at 5-5 after a loss at an even 500 as they fell to University of Mary Washington on Saturday. They'll next host Alvernia next on Wednesday. As for tennis now, we look to the courts. Men's and women's tennis opened up with conference play this weekend against Albright College and came away with big wins. The women's team defeated Albright by a final of 7-2, and the men's team defeated Albright with a strong 9-0 win. The sweep included 5 different 6-0 wins. The men improved to 4-7, the women improved to 3-7, and they will face York this upcoming week. As for track as well, the Messiah Track and Field team competed this weekend and had a strong performance in the Danny Curran Invitational. As we witnessed some strong personal performances, the men's team was highlighted by a 4-minute third-place finish by Logan Horst in the 1,500-meter event. And for the women, it comes as no surprise, Esther Seeland broke yet another record, this time in the 1,500-meter competition, logging a time of 4 minutes, 27 seconds, and 30 milliseconds. The track team will next compete here at home in the Messiah Multi-Invitational. And with that, we have crossed the finish line. And we have gotten ourselves up to speed with Messiah Sports for the Messiah's Athletics Department. And coming to you from the Hall of Honor, you're all caught up. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, PJ. And that has, in fact, brought us to the finish line as well.
That's all we have for this week's Falcon Update. We won't be on the air next week, but keep an eye out for stories on our Instagram page.
And tune back in on April 25th for our YBTV Rewind special. For now, a new episode of YB Tonight is headed your way right after this.
My name is Nathan Sims. I'm a junior at Messiah, and I'm a double major in both film and media arts and Spanish. I grew up making films as a kid. I saw that Messiah had a film program, and so when I visited, I just thought this is the perfect fit. Both the theory and practical considerations here have really increased my skill set, not just in a technical sense, but also from a theoretical perspective as well. I think the biggest piece that I'll add to my portfolio before I graduate is the final film for the junior and senior film project. That'll probably be my crowning achievement because I'm working with so many other artists and other film majors, and it's just been a really great opportunity so far. I think I'm most excited to use skills I've learned in documentary class. I have to make ethical decisions in every step of the process to really come up with a strong and truthful way to tell someone else's story. I think my professors have done a really great job of being strong examples for what combining your faith and your ethics with an art form like film, what that looks like. And so the interactions have almost always been positive because they're really invested in what their students are learning. One of my most valuable experiences was my internship, where I was able to actually apply what I learned in the classroom to the real world, and I think that's a completely invaluable experience. Personally, I did my internship with the Department of Natural Resources in Maryland. One of my favorite experiences at Messiah so far has actually been the Splice Film Festival, which allows students to submit their own personal work, and being able to share the art that I created as well as my fellow classmates was absolutely beautiful. I think the market right now is very open for film and media arts majors. There's a lot of different ways that you can plug in, both at nonprofits, at regular organizations. I worked in the government, and so I think there are absolutely a lot of opportunities.
Good evening, Messiah. Welcome back to another episode of YB Tonight. I'm Amy Sachs.
And I'm Rosie Schiano. Tonight we have Sierra Emery and Ella Talbot here to perform for us.
After that, we get the chance to talk with these lovely ladies a little bit more.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I'm Lily. I am a junior, and I am a broadcasting and media production major at Messiah. I chose to be a broadcasting and media production major because as a little girl, I dreamt of being a TV anchor. There are so many opportunities you can have as a broadcasting major. Messiah is really unique in the fact that we have our own TV station and it's student-led. So each week we have Falcon Update, which is a half hour, and then we have MC Live, which is a half hour as well. My favorite part is just being in the hustle and bustle of everything, and I'm really excited to just be creative when I'm putting together news packages or shooting other stories, just really getting every element of storytelling in my work. So we have a lot of faith-based projects. Right now we're working on one, it's called Faith Sides for multimedia storytelling. In pairs we're interviewing each other for 2 minutes about some aspect of faith. A lot of students from our major either intern at ABC 27 or WGAL. I shadowed one of my professors at a Hershey Bears game. The Bears are a local AHL hockey team, and through that experience I developed connections and eventually I got a job there. So I run the Crossfire machine and the LEDs on game days. My freshman year at Messiah, when I first came, I knew absolutely nothing about broadcasting or media, and now I feel confident that I can go work at a TV news station.
Welcome back, Messiah. Let's give a warm welcome to our dancer, Ella Talbot.
Wonder if I can outrun September. It's not the end. If I play pretend like when we were kids, make friends with the dark, say stay forever. Don't let me down, down, down. Nights of fair weather, friendless daylight come in. Swear I was just on the pavement, laying down while someone traces me, watching the sky. That I had my time, what a lie. I guess that was goodbye. I guess that was goodbye. I guess that was goodbye. But I guess Mr. Clark was just doing his job, and it's nobody's fault, but I wish it was. Swear I was just on the pavement, laying down while someone traces me, watching the sky. That I had my time, what a lie. I guess that was goodbye. I guess that was goodbye. I guess that was goodbye.
Absolutely stunning performance, Ella. We'll be back to talk more in depth with her after the break.
You're watching YBTV live on YouTube. Check out our channel after the show for more great content from Messiah University.
It should be fun. I love s'mores.
Me too. Especially on a campfire.
The best.
Golden brown.
You're watching YBTV.
Welcome back to YB Tonight. I'm here with Ella Talbot, who just performed a fantastic number for us. How are you doing, Ella?
I'm good, thanks.
All right, thank you so much for being here. How did you first get into dancing and performing?
I started dancing when I was probably 4, and I started dancing just because my mom decided to put me in a ballet class, and I loved it. It was great, and so I've stuck with it for a long time.
Oh, wow, so young. No wonder you're so good. It has so many years of experience. Where do you draw inspiration from when you're choreographing?
For this piece in particular, when I started thinking about choreographing and what I wanted to draw inspiration from, I wanted to express how I feel when I'm in God's presence. And so I find oftentimes the most authentic choreography comes from something that I've experienced as a result of God.
Yeah. And I know this dance doesn't have a title. Why did you decide to make it that way?
I think kind of for a similar reason that I didn't really know how to express the things that God's doing and with music, but also kind of the way that I feel about the dance and my own process. It just kind of didn't really feel right to give it a name.
Okay, fair enough. It's hard to explain all of the things that God does with us.
Yeah.
What do you think are the most important traits a dancer can have?
I think it's important to have confidence, but also a willingness to try, because, everyone starts somewhere, and unless you're willing to try and fail, then you'll never have successes. And it's after failing that the successes are impactful.
Makes sense. How has your creative process changed over time?
Well, in the beginning, it was kind of just move however I feel like moving. And I feel like since taking courses on choreography and things like that, I've started being more intentional about motivation behind what it is that I do, and also when I want to paint pictures, how do I do that? And so it's been, I'm learning to be more intentional.
Okay, and speaking of working to be motivated, have you felt with any negativity regarding being a dancer?
I feel like being a dancer, sometimes it's hard to feel confident in comparison with sports and things like that, but I think dance is just another way that we learn to express worship, and everybody's bodies are made differently and with different talents, and so I think kind of sinking into the fact that this is just an element of who God's made me and the gifts that He's given me really helps me to kind of have peace with the differences.
And you certainly are very gifted, Ella. What are the different types of careers that dancers can look into?
Of course, you can look into professional dancing, but there's also things like musical theater, and of course there are things like teaching dance and being involved in schools and using dance as a ministry within churches. I went to a dance school for a really long time that was a branch ministry from a church, and so yeah.
What would you personally like to do with your dance after you graduate?
I don't have a clear direction. Honestly, it's just kind of one of those things that God's kind of given me a heart for, and so I'm pursuing while I'm here, and I just kind of figure it's one of the things on the list of things that God can use in my life, however He chooses.
Okay, last question for you here. How has dance inspired you in other areas of your life?
Dance has inspired me to be involved with things like musical theater in high school. Also, just kind of connect with people, and it's inspired me to think about worship in a different way as well. So those are some of the big things.
Nice. Thank you so much for sharing, Ella, and we're so glad to have you here. When we come back, we'll get to see another dance performance by Sierra and Marie. So stay tuned.
77 is now officially rebranded as Yellow Breeches TV.
We don't want our students to feel like they have to wait until they've graduated to start serving and meeting the needs of society. So we want students to have an opportunity to work on projects that meet real needs even while they're students in the program. Messiah students are exciting to work with because they understand that God has uniquely gifted them to do something, and they're excited to follow Him in that and to follow Him in their careers.
One of my best moments as a student here at Messiah was when I was traveling to Mexico with a collaboratory.
The collaboratory's business model is that it pairs student teams with either faculty mentors or outside professionals to work on systems that either care for the earth or help disadvantaged people around the world.
I learned so many amazing things about just cultural differences and how to adapt and work alongside, not just how to help someone else, but how to empower them to further their lives and also advance my academics in the process. So that is by far one of my favorite memories from Messiah.
Welcome back to YB Tonight. Without further ado, let's give it up for Sierra Emery, who will be performing Videology. The floor is all yours, Sierra. That was incredible. We'll be right back to sit down with Sierra and talk to her more about her dancing after the break.
C77 is now officially rebranded as Yellow Breeches TV.
We don't want our students to feel like they have to wait until they've graduated to start serving and meeting the needs of society. So we want students to have an opportunity to work on projects that meet real needs even while they're students in the program. Messiah students are exciting to work with because they understand that God has uniquely gifted them to do something, and they're excited to follow Him in that and to follow Him in their careers.
One of my best moments as a student here at Messiah was when I was traveling to Mexico with a collaboratory.
The collaboratory's business model is that it pairs student teams with either faculty mentors or outside professionals to work on systems that either care for the earth or help disadvantaged people around the world.
I learned so many amazing things about just cultural differences and how to adapt and work alongside, not just how to help someone else, but how to empower them to further their lives and also advance my academics in the process. So that is by far one of my favorite memories from Messiah.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm here with Sierra Emery, the performer of Vibology. How are you tonight, Sierra?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Of course. Okay, so we're just going to jump right into it.
Okay.
So you're a musical theater major and also a softball player.
I am.
So how do you find yourself to balance both of those things?
Well, it's definitely a lot running from practice straight to rehearsal. But thankfully, with the help of my professors, my coach, it works out where I can leave early from a practice and go to rehearsal, or leave rehearsal early, and it just all works out.
Good, good. So what inspired you to study musical theater here at Messiah?
I think I've always known that I wanted to be a performer ever since I was little. And going into high school, I just couldn't see myself doing anything else. And so I was like, musical theater is what it is.
Good, nice.
Yeah.
So Messiah's theater department puts on a ton of shows throughout the semester. Can you tell us a little bit more about how what all goes into that?
Yeah, so a lot goes on behind the scenes. We actually have a class called Production Practicum where we all get contracts. Someone's assigned hair and makeup for the show, or costumes, and where it's basically mostly like a student-run show for the most part, besides our director, who is our professor running it. So we do a lot of behind-the-scenes work before we get it on the stage.
Nice, okay. How do you hope to inspire others through performing?
Well, performing arts can be seen as, I guess, not the best Christian way to go, as some people might say, because there's a lot of things that don't align with Christian values. And I'm hoping to just, start a new way for Christian performers to help them understand that you can do this and you can still glorify God while you're doing it.
Love that answer. Great answer. What do you think are some of the most valuable traits for performers to have?
You got to be creative.
Okay.
You have to be flexible and I think coachable. Because if you're, willing to fall and fail and fail again, you'll just be that much better and you'll be able to grow.
Yeah. You have to have an open mind, right?
Absolutely.
There you go. How do you handle obstacles that come with being a theater major?
I think it's just been a lot of time management skills that I've had to use. There hasn't, thankfully, been a lot of obstacles this semester. Just a lot of working with my friends and figuring out what's best and how to go about my schedule. So yeah.
So musical theater is such a broad thing has many different paths. So what are some of the different paths that someone with a musical theater degree can take?
You can really go anywhere with it. As you're taking dance classes, singing lessons, piano, acting, you can go any route your little heart desires. As long as you're willing to put yourself out there, you can do it.
So after you graduate with your musical theater degree, what do you hope to do with it?
I mean, I have, big dreams like possibly becoming a Rockette or Sight and Sound Theater, Broadway, but wherever God takes me is where I want to go, and I'm ready to start that journey.
Ready to do it?
Absolutely.
Good. One final question for you. Mm-hmm. What is a piece of advice you would give to others who are in the musical theater department?
Don't give up. It gets really hard sometimes, and you're going to be told no a lot, and that maybe you're not good enough, but if you truly want to do this, you just got to push through it and continue to make yourself better every single day.
Great. Well, it was great having you here tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. It was great to talk to you, and we'll be right back after the break.
The new athletic training curriculum at Messiah College is a 5-year accelerated program that results in completion of a bachelor's in applied health science with a concentration in pre-athletic training and a master's of science in athletic training.
When I was introduced to the athletic training program at Messiah, I knew right away that it was going to be the right fit for me. There was just so much support and so much interest in me as an individual, and that community was really something special.
I think a student should be interested in studying this program, particularly at Messiah, largely because of the people that we have. Students are going to formally participate in case studies and case reviews, and there's also opportunities for collaboration with the faculty.
My friendship with the program director, Dr. Matt Lewis, has supported my journey as a Christian, as an athletic trainer, and as a scientist.
We are passionate about our students, and we're also passionate about the profession of athletic training.
Yes. Oh, hi. I suppose you're wondering what an A-list celebrity like me is doing in a place like this. You must know, I'm saving the world. Oh, hi, Beth. Yep, saving the world again. Did you know that 40% of all the food produced in the United States is thrown away? That means everything that went into that food, the pesticides, the water, the land, was all for nothing. Just look at this perfectly good food thrown in the trash. The pizza with extra Cheerios, these goldfish and Band-Aid tacos. And just look at this perfect trash burger. This pasta dog looks delicious.
You don't have to dumpster dive like Ed Begley Jr. to save the planet. Fight food waste by shopping smart and using what you buy before it gets trashed.
That's way better. Ooh, arugula.
Do your part and find out other world-saving tips at betterthaned.org.
MC77 is now officially rebranded as Yellow Breeches TV.
You're watching Falcon Update live on Messiah University's Yellow Breeches Television.
Once again, thank you for tuning into this week's episode of YB Tonight. A special thank you to Ella Talbot and Sierra Emery for being here as well. I'm Amy Sachs.
And I'm Mercy Sciano. From all of us here at YBTV, have a wonderful night.
Every undergraduate engineering